Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little darker, a time of sirens, shadows, and whispered prayers in the night. We're diving into what life was really like during World War II. Forget the polished war movies Hollywood sold you. The truth? You probably wouldn't last a single night. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy these journeys into history, and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world. Now, dim the lights, let a soft hum fill the room, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Because the year is 1945, picture this: the smoking ruins of Berlin under a blood-red sky. And tonight's story, a girl watching a candle flicker in fear. The night air was cool, yet heavy with the scent of ash and distant fires. It wrapped around the city of Berlin like a somber cloak, whispering tales of battles fought and lives forever altered. In the heart of this war-torn landscape, where shadows cast long fingers across crumbling walls, a young girl sat quietly in a small, dimly lit room. The flicker of a lone candle was her only companion, its warm glow casting gentle waves of light and shadow that danced across her weary face. Outside, the world was a cacophony of distant echoes, low rumbles of artillery, far away, like the growl of a restless giant, mingling with the occasional sharp crack of gunfire. Yet within these walls, the silence was profound, a soft, enveloping blanket that muffled the chaos beyond. Each breath she took was slow and deliberate, a rhythmic counterpoint to the erratic beat of her heart. The candle's flame, slender and resilient, swayed gently in the draught that crept through the cracked window. It was a fragile beacon of hope in a sea of despair, a reminder of light in times of darkness. Its wax pooled at the base, forming intricate patterns like tiny rivers frozen mid-flow, capturing the essence of time standing still in this moment of quiet reflection. Her fingertips traced the rough texture of the wooden table, feeling each groove and knot as if memorizing the lines of a well-loved map. It was a tactile solace amidst the uncertainty, a connection to all that was solid and real. The walls, though scarred by conflict, held the faint scent of old books and memories, a library of untold stories waiting to be shared. Above, the sky was a tapestry of crimson and charcoal, a painter's stroke of despair and defiance. The moon, pale and ghostly, peeked through the clouds, casting a silvery glow that mingled with the candlelight. Together they wove an ethereal tapestry that soothed her tired eyes, offering a momentary escape from the relentless march of time. In this hushed sanctuary, she allowed herself to dream of peace, of a world beyond the rubble and ruin. Her eyelids grew heavy, lulled by the gentle cadence of the night, and as the candle's flame flickered one last time, she surrendered to the embrace of sleep, cradled by the hope that tomorrow might bring the dawn of a new beginning. The room seemed to breathe in unison with the night, its walls expanding and contracting with each soft sigh of the wind. Outside, the distant echoes of a world at war faded into the background, becoming a subdued hum, a whispered lullaby that mingled with the rhythmic patter of raindrops on the windowpane. Each drop was a reminder of the earth's ancient music, a serenade that transcended the chaos beyond, speaking instead of cycles and renewal, of life persisting against all odds. Candlelight danced across the room, weaving shadows that played upon the walls like silent phantoms, their movements gentle and deliberate. The flickering light cast a warm, golden hue that softened the edges of the room, turning harsh angles into gentle curves. It was as if the very air was infused with a honeyed glow, inviting her to lose herself in the tranquility of this cocooned moment. The cold air was crisp, carrying with it the faint scent of pine and earth, a reminder of forests untouched by the ravages of war. It slipped through the room like a ghost, brushing against her skin with a cool caress, a gentle reminder of the world outside, a world that still held beauty amidst the devastation. She listened to the quiet whispers of the night, each one a thread in the tapestry of silence. They spoke in hushed tones, sharing secrets carried on the wind, secrets of resilience and survival, of love whispered in the dark, of dreams that refused to die. These whispers were her companions, weaving a tale that soothed her weary soul, promising that even in the darkest times, there was light to be found. As her eyes drifted shut, the world around her softened further, the edges blurring into a gentle haze. She imagined herself walking through fields of lavender, their scent rising to meet her like a fragrant embrace, mingling with the earthy aroma of rain-kissed soil. The moon overhead was a gentle guardian, watching over her as she wandered in this dreamscape, its light a silvery balm that eased the tension from her shoulders. In this tranquil space, time ceased its relentless march. The world was reduced to the simple symphony of heartbeats and breath, the comforting rhythms of life. She floated on the gentle currents of her dreams, buoyed by the hope of a brighter tomorrow, a tomorrow where the echoes of war would be replaced by the laughter of children, the rustle of leaves, the song of peace. And so, wrapped in the embrace of night, she slept, her heart, a quiet drum, steady and assured, carrying her onward into the promise of dawn. The candle flickered softly on the bedside table, casting a warm, golden glow that danced along the walls. Its light was like a quiet guardian, shielding her from the shadows that lingered, those shadows that the night sometimes invited. The room was a cocoon, cradling her in its gentle arms, sheltering her from the cold winds that sighed outside, their voices distant yet familiar, like an old lullaby sung by the earth itself. Outside, the world was painted in shades of silver and blue, the moon's glow reflecting off the frost-kissed landscape. Trees stood as solemn sentinels, their branches whispering secrets only the night could understand. Each rustle was a reminder of the life that persisted, the quiet strength that endured beneath the surface, waiting for the warmth of spring to awaken it once more. Her breath was a soft symphony, rising and falling in harmony with the night. It mingled with the cool air that seeped through the window, a gentle touch that kissed her cheeks with the promise of morning. She could almost hear the distant echoes of a world at peace, a world where the gentle hum of bees and the soft flutter of butterfly wings replaced the harsh sounds of conflict. In her dreams, she walked through a forest bathed in moonlight, the path beneath her feet a mosaic of light and shadow. The air was filled with the sweet scent of pine and the faintest hint of wildflowers, their petals closed in slumber. Above her, the stars were pinpricks of hope in the velvet sky, guiding her steps as she journeyed deeper into this realm of serenity. The whispers of the night continued their gentle dialogue, weaving stories of courage and love that transcended time and space. They spoke of those who had walked before her, their footsteps leaving a trail of light for her to follow. She felt their presence, a comforting hand on her shoulder, a reminder that she was never truly alone. As she drifted deeper into this dreamland, she imagined the world reborn, vibrant and full of life. The fields would be painted with wildflowers, and laughter would ring through the air, a melody that banished the silence of war. The rivers would sing their ancient songs, and the sky would be a canvas of endless possibility. And so, embraced by the soft lullaby of the night, she slept on, her dreams a tapestry of hope and renewal, carrying her gently towards the dawn, where light and life awaited. The candle flickered softly on the bedside, its flame a solitary dancer swaying to an unheard melody. Shadows played upon the walls, weaving a tapestry of moving shapes that seemed to whisper secrets of the night. Each flicker cast a warm glow that wrapped around her like a comforting blanket, warding off the chill that lingered in the room. Outside, the world lay in a hushed slumber, the cold air settling over the earth like a silken shroud. In the distance, the echoes of a world once torn by war began to soften, transforming into a gentle symphony of peace. It was as if the land itself was breathing, exhaling the remnants of conflict and inhaling the promise of tranquility. The soft rustle of leaves in the night breeze was a lullaby, a tender whisper that cradled her into a deeper slumber. Her dreams carried her further into the heart of the moonlit forest, where the trees stood as silent sentinels, their branches arching overhead to form a cathedral of nature. The path beneath her was cool and inviting, the earth firm and reassuring underfoot. She imagined the cool caress of dew-kissed leaves brushing against her skin, their touch a gentle reminder of life's quiet resilience. With each step, the whispers of the forest grew more distinct, a chorus of voices that spoke in harmony with her heart. They recounted tales of courage etched in the annals of time, of souls who had dared to dream of a brighter tomorrow. Each story was a thread in the tapestry of the night, woven with care and reverence. As she wandered, the forest opened up to a clearing bathed in silver light. Here the air was alive with the scent of blooming jasmine, mingling with the earthy aroma of the forest floor. In this sacred space, time seemed to pause, holding its breath in deference to the beauty of the night. The stars above blinked in gentle approval, their light a guiding beacon that promised safe passage through the darkest of hours. They reminded her of the countless others who had looked up at the same sky, their dreams intertwining with hers in a dance of hope and unity. The night wore on, its embrace tender and unwavering. Wrapped in its quietude, she felt the world slowly exhale, releasing its burdens into the ether. Her dreams painted a picture of renewal, where the earth healed and hearts mended amidst fields of wildflowers and endless laughter. In the cocoon of her dreams, she drifted towards the horizon, where the first blush of dawn awaited. The night's gentle lullaby carried her forward, a vessel of hope, sailing towards the light, where the promise of a new day beckoned, and as the stars whispered their final farewells, she found solace in the knowledge that even in the darkest night, the dawn was always near. The clearing held its breath, wrapped in the hushed embrace of the night. A gentle breeze whispered through the trees, stirring the leaves into a delicate symphony that wove itself into the fabric of her dreams. The distant echoes of a world once torn by conflict softened into the background, replaced by the tender murmurs of peace inching its way through the shadows. It was as if the forest, with its ancient wisdom, knew that the night was a time for healing and whispered its secrets to the stars above. Candles, placed in a circle at the heart of the clearing, flickered gently, casting a warm, golden glow that danced across the trunks of the surrounding trees. Their light was a tender embrace, a reminder that within darkness lay the seeds of illumination. The flames swayed softly, in rhythm with the gentle rustle of the leaves, creating a world where time seemed to stretch and yawn, lingering in the serene comfort of stillness. The air was crisp, carrying with it the chill of the night. Yet, it was a cold that invigorated rather than numbed, a soft reminder of the vitality that pulsed beneath the surface of the earth. It invited her to draw her cloak closer around her shoulders, to feel the texture of its fabric as a tangible link to the world she cherished. The cold was not an adversary, but a companion on this journey, a gentle nudge towards the warmth that awaited beyond the horizon. Within this tranquil tapestry, she could almost hear the whispers of those who had walked this path before her. Their voices were soft, carried on the wind, like a gentle caress. They spoke of resilience, and the quiet strength that comes from enduring the storm and emerging on the other side. Their stories were like lullabies, soothing and familiar, urging her to rest and dream, to trust in the promise of renewal that lay just beyond the night. As she lay beneath the stars, the world around her slowly transformed. The whispers of history faded into the lullaby of the night, a melody that cradled her in its arms. The cold air wrapped around her like a protective mantle, while the candlelight flickered on, a steadfast guardian against the encroaching dark. And so she drifted deeper into the embrace of the night, her mind a canvas painted with visions of peace and unity. The clearing became her sanctuary, a place where the echoes of war and strife were but distant memories, replaced by the soft promise of a dawn that was drawing ever nearer. As the night sang its soothing song, she surrendered to the gentle pull of sleep, knowing that the dawn was but a breath away, ready to greet her with open arms and the promise of a new beginning. As the night deepened, a silvery mist began to weave its way through the trees, cloaking the world in a delicate shroud. It moved with a graceful, almost ethereal quality, as if it were a living entity, a silent dancer in the moonlit glade. The mist brought with it a cool breath of air, crisp and invigorating, a gentle reminder of the earth's quiet endurance. Each inhalation filled her lungs with its purity, a shared moment with the unseen forces that surrounded her, whispering tales of nature's timeless cycles. The candlelight, her steadfast sentinel, flickered with a serene rhythm, casting soft shadows that danced upon the ground. Its glow was a warm, golden embrace amidst the silver-blue hues of night, a beacon of hope and comfort. The flame's gentle flicker seemed to murmur of ancient stories, of times when simplicity and silence were the world's greatest treasures. Its light was a reminder that, even in the darkest of nights, there was always a spark that could guide the way. Above, the stars glimmered like scattered gemstones across a vast velvet sky, each one a distant echo of light that had traveled across time to reach her. They whispered secrets of the universe, of galaxies far beyond her imagination, yet their light was intimate, a quiet reassurance that she was never truly alone. The constellations told stories of heroes and wanderers, of quests and dreams that spanned the ages, offering her a tapestry of dreams to weave into her own. In the stillness, the forest itself seemed to breathe, each rustle of leaves a soft sigh, each distant echo a gentle heartbeat. The whispers of the past mingled with the present, creating a symphony of sound that lulled her into a deeper state of calm. It was a melody of resilience, of histories that had shaped the world and continued to guide those who lingered beneath their watchful gaze. As she lay cocooned in this serene world, her thoughts drifted like leaves on a stream. Each memory, each hope, was a ripple that spread gently across the surface of her consciousness. She dreamed of a world where peace reigned, where the echoes of conflict were mere shadows of history, remembered but no longer feared. Her dreams were woven with the threads of hope and healing, a gentle tapestry that promised growth and renewal. The night carried her softly into its embrace, a gentle lullaby that bid her rest until the dawn's first light. And as the horizon began to hint at the promise of a new day, she knew that the world was turning towards a brighter future, where the warmth of the sun would once again cradle the earth in its tender glow. As the night deepened, the moon hung like a sentinel in the sky, casting its gentle light through the canopy of trees, where it danced upon the forest floor in a delicate ballet of shadows and luminescence. The candle on her bedside flickered softly, its flame a small, yet steadfast guardian against the encroaching darkness. The air around her was crisp, carrying with it the faint scent of pine and earth, a reminder of the ancient woods that stood vigil outside her window. The cold air whispered against her skin, a tender caress that spoke of distant lands and forgotten times. It carried with it echoes of a world in slumber, where the ghosts of the past found peace in the quiet solitude of the night. She imagined the soldiers of old, their weary souls resting beneath the blanket of stars, their stories etched into the very fabric of the universe. Each whisper was a promise, a gentle assurance that their sacrifices had not been in vain, that the seeds of hope they had sown would one day blossom into fields of harmony. In the distance she heard the soft murmur of a brook, its waters flowing over smooth stones in a timeless rhythm. It was a lullaby of nature, a soothing harmony that mirrored the gentle rise and fall of her own breath. The brook's song intertwined with the rustling leaves, creating a tapestry of sound that wrapped around her like a warm embrace. It was as if the earth itself was singing her to sleep, its ancient voice a balm for her weary heart. As she lay there, cocooned in her blankets, she felt the presence of those who had walked this path before her. Their whispers were like a gentle breeze, a chorus of voices that spoke of courage and compassion, of the enduring strength of the human spirit. They were with her in the stillness, their stories a guiding light that illuminated her dreams and filled her heart with quiet resolve. With each passing moment, the night deepened, yet it was not a time of fear or uncertainty. Instead, it was a sanctuary, a sacred space where she could rest and renew her spirit. The world outside was hushed, as if holding its breath in anticipation of the dawn, and as she drifted closer to sleep, she felt a profound sense of connection to all that had been and all that was to come. In this tranquil realm, time seemed to stretch and soften, allowing her to float gently upon its currents. And as the first light of dawn began to paint the sky in hues of soft pink and gold, she knew that she was part of something greater, a vast and wondrous tapestry of life that embraced her with open arms. The promise of a new day awaited, a world where dreams could take flight and peace could finally find its home. The candle flickered gently on the bedside table, casting a soft amber glow across the room and dancing shadows upon the walls. Its light was a beacon in the night, a steadfast companion in the darkness that surrounded her. The air was crisp, with a hint of the cold that seeped through the window panes. Yet it carried with it the fragrance of earth and pine, a reminder of the world outside that slumbered beneath a blanket of stars. As she nestled deeper into her cocoon of blankets, the distant echoes of a world at rest filled the room. They were like the fading notes of a lullaby, a harmonious blend of sounds that lulled her further into a state of serene repose. The gentle crackle of the fire in the hearth mingled with the whispers of the night, creating a symphony that was both soothing and profound. Her thoughts drifted like autumn leaves on a gentle breeze, carried away to a place where time had no hold. She saw visions of those who had come before her, their faces softened by the passage of years, their eyes bright with the light of hope and determination. They walked beside her in spirit, their presence a comforting weight that anchored her to the earth. Their courage was a balm, their compassion a guiding star. The whispers grew softer, like the rustling of silk against skin, as if the night itself was speaking to her. It spoke of resilience and grace, of the quiet strength that lay within her heart. It was a voice that urged her to rest, to find solace in the stillness, and to trust in the promise of a new dawn. It was a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, there was light to be found. Outside, the world lay silent, wrapped in the embrace of the night. The cold air whispered through the trees, a gentle caress that stirred the leaves and set them to dancing. It was a time of peace, a moment suspended in eternity where the past and future met in a delicate balance. The night cradled her in its arms, a guardian of dreams and a keeper of secrets. And as the first light of dawn began to seep through the curtains, painting the room in soft hues of gold and rose, she felt a sense of renewal wash over her. It was the birth of a new day, a canvas upon which she could paint her dreams and aspirations. With a heart full of quiet resolve, she embraced the morning light, knowing that she was part of a greater story, one that would continue to unfold with each passing day. Peace had found its home within her, and she carried it forward into the world, a beacon of hope and love in a world that awaited the dawn. The candlelight flickered gently, casting warm shadows that danced along the walls, embracing the room with a serene glow. It was a light that held the whispers of history, soft echoes that hummed with tales untold, weaving a tapestry of past and present in the quiet of the room. The flame swayed like a ballerina in slow motion, a silent companion in the stillness, as if it understood the weight of dreams and the solace found in gentle moments. Outside, the distant echoes of the world lingered at the edge of consciousness, a muted symphony of life beyond the walls. The faintest murmur of the wind carried with it the scent of earth and pine, a reminder of nature's steadfast presence amidst the ever-changing tides of time. It was as though the earth sighed in tandem with the stars, sharing secrets in a language as old as the universe itself. Her breath, slow and rhythmic, mingled with the whispers of the night, creating a melody of its own, a lullaby woven from the fabric of her heart. It was a song of resilience, a gentle reminder of her own inner fortitude, the strength that had been forged in the fires of adversity, yet tempered by the kindness of those who had walked before her. Their spirits lingered in the air, a chorus of silent encouragement that wrapped around her like a warm shawl. In this cocoon of tranquility, she felt the cold air brush against her skin, a gentle reminder of the world outside, vast and full of possibilities. It was a world that awaited her touch, her presence, her unique contribution. The chill was invigorating, a tender nudge to awaken her senses and to remind her of the life that pulsed within her veins. As the candle burned lower, its flame steadfast and true, she closed her eyes, allowing the peace of the night to seep into her very being. In the quiet, she found the threads of her own story, a narrative that spoke of courage, hope, and the unwavering belief in the goodness of humanity. It was a story woven with love, the kind that transcends time and space, bridging the gap between the past and the future. The whispers of the night faded into the gentle hum of dawn, a new chapter waiting to be written. She rose with the sun, her spirit renewed, her heart a vessel of light ready to spill forth into the world. With each step she carried with her the echoes of those who had come before, their strength a constant companion. As she ventured into the day, the candle had burned out, but its light lived on within her, a beacon guiding her forward, ever towards the horizon, where hope and possibility danced in the embrace of a new dawn. The first light of dawn crept silently across the landscape, painting the world in hues of soft gold and muted lavender. The whispers of the night had gently given way to the morning's tender embrace, where echoes of distant dreams lingered like the faintest brushstrokes against a canvas not yet complete. She stood at the window, her breath mingling with the crisp morning air, a delicate fog that dissipated slowly, as if reluctant to leave the warmth of her lips. The world outside was awakening, but the tranquility of the early hour held it in a gentle pause, a moment suspended between the night and the day. The air was tinged with the scent of earth and dew, a promise of renewal and growth. She wrapped her shawl tight around her shoulders, savoring the contrast between the warmth of the fabric and the coolness of the air that seeped through the window's slender crack. In the distance, the faintest echoes of life began to stir, the low murmur of the waking world. A bird's song, sweet and tentative, threaded its way through the stillness, a solitary note in the symphony of dawn. It was a sound that blended seamlessly with the rustling leaves, the soft whispers of the trees as they whispered secrets to the wind. She closed her eyes, allowing the sounds to wash over her, each note a gentle caress that soothed her soul. It was in these quiet moments, cradled between the night and the day, that she found clarity. The tapestry of her life, woven with threads of love and resilience, stretched out before her, shimmering softly in the half-light. With a slow, deliberate breath, she opened her eyes and let her gaze rest upon the horizon. The sun, a gentle orb of light, began its ascent, shedding its warmth and promise over the world. It was a reminder that each day was a new beginning, a fresh page upon which to inscribe her hopes and dreams. She turned from the window, her heart a quiet storm of anticipation and resolve. The echoes of those who had walked before her whispered encouragement, their voices a gentle chorus that filled the room with warmth. They spoke of courage and kindness, of the strength to rise above the trials of the world with grace and dignity. With each step she took, she carried their legacy forward, a torchbearer of light in a world that sometimes seemed shrouded in shadow. Her journey was just beginning, and with it, the promise of new stories to be woven into the fabric of time. As she moved towards the door, the soft glow of the extinguished candle lingered in her memory, a symbol of the light that would always guide her path. The chill of the morning air kissed her cheeks as she stepped out into the world, a gentle reminder of the season's change. The landscape stretched out before her, painted in hues of soft gold and muted greens, a canvas alive with the whispers of the past and promises of the future. Each breath she took was a sip of cool clarity, the air crisp and invigorating, filling her lungs with the essence of dawn. Around her, the quietude of the early hour was punctuated by the distant echoes of a world slowly waking. The distant call of a bird, the soft murmur of a brook hidden beyond the trees, and the faint rustling of creatures stirring in the underbrush created a symphony of serenity. It was a melody that sang of life's continuity, a gentle reassurance that the world, despite its turmoil, would keep turning. As she meandered down the path, the light of the rising sun danced across the dew-laden grass. Each droplet, a tiny prism reflecting the soft glow. The earth beneath her feet was firm, a steady companion to her journey, grounding her with its enduring presence. She felt the strength of countless generations beneath her soles, their stories etched into the soil, whispering through the earth to guide her steps. In the distance, the silhouette of an old oak stood sentinel, its branches reaching skyward in a silent hymn of resilience. She paused beneath its sprawling canopy, the leaves whispering softly above her, a lullaby of rustling tranquility. She placed a hand on its rough bark, feeling the heartbeat of the ancient tree, a steady pulse that spoke of centuries past and futures yet to unfold. The light around her grew warmer, painting the world with the gentle brush of dawn's early glow. She closed her eyes once more, allowing the moment to envelop her like a tender embrace. The whispers of the past mingled with the soft promise of the new day, wrapping her in a cocoon of peace. With a heart full of quiet determination, she continued onward, her path illuminated by the golden tendrils of the morning sun. Each step was a testament to the strength she carried within, a promise to honor those who had come before her, and to forge a future bright with hope and purpose. The gentle echoes of the world around her, the soft caress of the cold morning air, and the whispers of the wind accompanied her, a harmonious symphony guiding her ever forward. As she ventured further, the distant echoes of a world awakening slowly unfurled in the air around her. The gentle cooing of doves, nestled in the branches, drifted down like a soft melody, harmonizing with the rhythmic sighs of the breeze. The candlelight of dawn flickered through the leaves, casting playful shadows that danced across the path ahead, a delicate ballet of light and shade. Each step she took was cushioned by the thick carpet of fallen leaves, their edges crisp with the night's lingering chill. The cold air brushed against her cheeks, invigorating her with its freshness, yet tender as a mother's kiss. It carried with it the faint scent of pine and earth, an aroma rich with the promise of growth and life, whispering secrets from the forest's heart. Beneath the vast, endless sky, she felt connected to something far greater than herself, a tapestry woven through time and space, each thread a life, a story, a dream. As clouds drifted lazily across the horizon, tinged with the soft blush of dawn, she imagined them as the gentle thoughts of the world, floating onward in their serene journey. The path led her to a clearing where the remnants of an old stone wall stood, ivy-clad sentinels whispering of a time long past. She traced her fingers over the cool, moss-covered stones, feeling the pulse of history beneath her touch. The whispers here were different, filled with tales of courage and compassion, of lives woven together through the trials of war, each story a stitch in the fabric of peace that now enveloped her world. In this quiet sanctuary, she allowed herself a moment of reflection. The world around her was alive with the gentle hum of life, the symphony of nature providing a soothing backdrop to her thoughts. The whispers of the past mingled with her own hopes and dreams, a quiet conversation that resonated deep within her soul. As the sun climbed higher, its golden light bathed her in warmth, a gentle reminder of the promise each new day held. She breathed deeply, filling her lungs with the crisp morning air, her spirit buoyed by the tranquil beauty surrounding her. The whispers of the wind, the echoes of the past, and the soft caress of the earth beneath her feet, all conspired to guide her ever forward, a harmonious symphony echoing the resilience of the human spirit. With renewed strength, she resumed her journey, her steps sure and steady, each one carrying her closer to a future woven with hope, each whispering promise a thread in the tapestry of the life she was destined to create. The world around her was calm, poetic, and immersive, a gentle lullaby that would cradle her dreams until she reached her destination. The path ahead unfolded like a gentle stream, winding its way through the emerald embrace of the forest. Each step she took was accompanied by the soft rustle of leaves, their whispers a delicate counterpoint to the distant echoes of a world once torn by conflict. Here, in the embrace of nature, time seemed to slow, each moment stretching into eternity, a tender lullaby that soothed her weary soul. Candlelight flickered in her mind, a memory of warm hearths and whispered stories shared in the quiet of night. It cast a golden glow over her thoughts, illuminating memories of those who had walked this path before her, their courage and sacrifice lighting the way through the darkness. These gentle flames danced in her heart, a beacon of hope that guided her onward. The air was crisp and carried with it the scent of pine and earth, a reminder of the world that had endured through the trials of war. It was a world reborn, its beauty resilient and undiminished. As she walked, the cold air kissed her cheeks, invigorating her spirit and grounding her in the present, even as her thoughts wandered through the echoes of the past. She paused beside a small brook, its waters murmuring softly over smooth stones, a whispered song of their own. Here she knelt and cupped her hands, feeling the cool, clear liquid trickle through her fingers, a moment of purity and peace. She closed her eyes and listened, the gentle music of the stream weaving itself into the fabric of her being, a peaceful interlude in her journey. The whispers of the forest wrapped around her, a chorus of voices that spoke of renewal and rebirth. They told tales of nature's resilience, of life emerging anew from the ashes of destruction. The trees stood as silent witnesses, their branches swaying gently in agreement, their leaves rustling softly, like the pages of a well-loved book. In this tranquil haven, she felt a deep connection to the stories of those who had come before her. Their whispers are part of her own narrative. They were threads in the tapestry of her life, binding past to present, weaving a future filled with promise and possibility. As she rose to continue her journey, she carried with her the soothing symphony of the forest, a melody of hope and healing that would accompany her through the days to come. The path stretched out before her, a gentle ribbon of possibility, each step a note in the lullaby of her life, the world around her a cocoon of calm and tranquility, cradling her dreams as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of twilight. The path ahead unfurled like a silken ribbon, leading her deeper into the embrace of the forest. The air was crisp and tinged with the scent of pine, a cool breath that whispered secrets of the earth. As she walked, the forest seemed to hold its breath, listening to the soft pad of her footsteps on the leaf-strewn ground, a gentle rhythm that resonated with the heartbeat of the world. Above, the canopy began to thin, allowing slivers of moonlight to filter through, casting a delicate lacework of shadows across her path. The moon itself hung like a luminescent pearl in the velvet sky, its light a gentle caress upon the world below. She paused for a moment, her gaze drawn upward, captivated by the celestial dance unfolding above her. Stars flickered softly, distant echoes of light that had travelled eons to reach her, their presence a reminder of the vast tapestry of existence. The night air was alive with whispers, the gentle susurration of leaves stirred by an unseen breeze. It carried with it the distant echoes of memories, the soft strains of a lullaby sung long ago, its notes lingering in the spaces between heartbeats. The world seemed suspended in a moment of deep tranquility, a serene pause in the symphony of life. As she moved forward, the path led her to a small glade illuminated by the warm glow of candlelight. The flickering flames danced in the gentle night air, casting a soft golden light that wrapped around her like a comforting embrace. She could feel the warmth of the candles, their light a beacon of solace in the darkness, a reminder of the enduring light of the human spirit amidst the shadows of history. The cold air nipped at her cheeks, but it was a refreshing chill, invigorating in its purity. It filled her lungs with the essence of the forest, a fragrant blend of earth and pine, a reminder of the life that thrived in this quiet sanctuary. She wrapped her arms around herself, savoring the sensation, the cold a gentle companion in the stillness of the night. The whispers grew softer, a gentle lull that cradled her thoughts, weaving dreams from the threads of the past. They were stories of courage and resilience, of love and loss, of a world that had endured and emerged stronger, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life. In the gentle glow of the candlelight, she felt a profound sense of peace, a quiet knowing that the journey ahead was one of hope and renewal. With the echoes of the past as her guide, she continued her journey, her heart a lantern of light in the night's embrace, each step a note in the timeless lullaby of life. The glade, a sanctuary of stillness and light, held her as if time itself had decided to pause and linger. Shadows played upon the leaves like ancient phantoms, whispering forgotten tales in a language only the heart could understand. The distant echoes of a world at war seemed to fade into the background, softened by the gentle symphony of crickets and the occasional rustle of a nocturnal creature in the underbrush. Above, the sky stretched vast and infinite, a blanket of stars twinkling with a serene intensity. Each star seemed a sentinel of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is light. The moon, a gentle guardian, bathed the glade in a silvery luminescence, turning the world into a landscape of dreams and possibilities. As she stood amidst this tranquil beauty, her senses were enveloped by the delicate tapestry of the night. The cool breeze whispered through the trees, carrying with it the scent of distant memories and untold futures. It caressed her skin, a tender touch that spoke of change and continuity, of the cycles of life that endure beyond the fleeting moments of human conflict. In this serene embrace, she could feel the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, a steady, reassuring rhythm that echoed the beating of her own heart. It was as if the land itself was alive, breathing in harmony with the universe, a living testament to the resilience of nature. and the spirit of mankind. The candlelight flickered softly, casting a warm glow that danced upon her face, its gentle radiance a symbol of hope and renewal. It illuminated the path ahead, a trail woven with the dreams and aspirations of those who had walked before her, and those who would follow in her footsteps. Each flame was a story, a voice in the chorus of history, singing softly of courage and compassion, of the enduring power of the human spirit. As she moved forward, her steps became a part of the night's lullaby, a melody of quiet determination and grace. The whispers of the forest mingled with the gentle rustle of her footsteps, creating a symphony of sound that wrapped around her like a comforting shawl, guiding her through the darkness with the promise of dawn. In this moment of tranquility, she found solace in the knowledge that even amidst the chaos of war, there exists a place of peace, a haven where dreams can take root and flourish. With each step, she carried with her the legacy of those who had come before, a legacy of hope and renewal that shone brightly in the flickering candlelight, a beacon of light in the night's gentle embrace. The crisp night air caressed her cheeks with a delicate chill, a reminder of the world that lay beyond her sheltering thoughts. It whispered secrets from ages past, stories carried on the wind from distant lands, tales of bravery and love whispered softly by the echoes of time. Each breath she took was a connection to the multitude of lives that had graced the earth, a shared experience that transcended the boundaries of time and space. In the distance, the faint rumble of a train echoed through the valleys, its sound muted and softened by the cloak of night. It was a lullaby in itself, a rhythmic heartbeat that spoke of journeys yet to be taken, of paths converging and diverging in the tapestry of existence. The distant chugging was a reminder of movement, of progress, of the relentless march of time that carried with it both the sorrows and the joys of the world. The candle's glow flickered gently, casting shadows that danced in harmony with the swaying branches of the trees. They played across her path with an ethereal grace, weaving a tapestry of light and dark that mimicked the delicate balance of life itself. The shadows whispered to her in their own silent language, tales of transformation and growth, of the cycles of nature that mirrored the resilience of the human heart. Her fingertips brushed against the rough bark of an ancient oak, its strength a testament to the endurance of life through countless winters and summers. The touch was grounding, a physical connection to the earth that anchored her in the present moment while allowing her spirit to soar beyond. The oak stood as a guardian of memories, its roots entwined with the stories of those who had once sought refuge under its sprawling branches. Above, the stars twinkled softly, their light a celestial chorus that sang of eternity and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. They were beacons in the vast expanse of the universe, silent witnesses to the unfolding drama of life below. She could feel their presence, a comforting reminder that, even in the darkest of nights, there is always a light to guide the way. As she walked, her heart swelled with a quiet resolve, a determination to carry the torch of hope through the shadows of uncertainty. The cold air filled her lungs with each breath, invigorating her spirit and fueling her journey forward. She knew that she was part of something greater, a thread in the intricate tapestry of life, woven together with love, courage, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. In this gentle embrace of night and nature, she found peace, knowing that the world would continue to turn, and with each new dawn there would be a chance for renewal, for healing, and for dreams to blossom anew. The night stretched out like a velvet cloak, draping the earth in its serene embrace. Her footsteps fell softly on the forest floor, the subtle crunch of leaves beneath her feet, a gentle percussion to the symphony of the night. The air was crisp, whispering secrets of long-lost tales through the softly swaying branches. It was a night that held its breath in quiet anticipation, a moment suspended between the echoes of the past and the whispers of what might yet come. A distant owl hooted, its call a haunting lullaby that resonated through the stillness, echoing off the trees and blending with the rustle of leaves. It was as if the forest itself was alive, breathing in harmony with her as she moved through its depths. The woods were a sanctuary, a place where time seemed to slow, allowing her thoughts to drift like the gentle fog that curled around the trunks of the trees. Ahead, a flicker of warm golden light danced in the darkness, the soft glow of a candle nestled within a clearing. The flame flickered and swayed, casting shadows that waltzed with the night, creating a tapestry of light and dark on the forest floor. She moved towards it, drawn by the promise of warmth and the comforting familiarity of its glow. As she approached, the candlelight revealed more of its secrets. A small, weathered table stood beside it, its surface strewn with letters and trinkets that spoke of lives intertwined by fate. The scent of wax mingled with the earthy aroma of moss and damp leaves, creating a perfume that was both soothing and invigorating. She paused, allowing herself to be enveloped by the gentle embrace of the scene, a moment where time paused and the world seemed to hold its breath. The candle's flame danced with an ethereal grace, its light casting a soft glow on her face, illuminating her features with a tender clarity. It was a reminder of the fragility of life, yet also of its enduring strength. The flame burned brightly, defying the encroaching darkness, just as the human spirit persists, even in the face of adversity. She stood there, cradled by the night and the gentle illumination of the candle, her heart a steady rhythm in sync with the pulse of the earth. The world around her was a symphony of soft sounds and gentle movements, a lullaby that soothed her soul and whispered of peace. In this cocoon of tranquility, she understood that the night was not an ending, but a beginning, a canvas upon which dreams could be painted anew, guided by the light of hope that never fades. In the hush of the night, the forest stood as a silent sentinel, its towering trees cloaked in the silver embrace of moonlight. Their branches swayed gently, a subtle dance that mirrored the flickering candlelight, casting shadows that waltzed with the night, creating a tapestry of light and dark on the forest floor. She moved towards it, drawn by the promise of warmth and the comforting familiarity of its glow. As she approached, the candlelight revealed more of its secrets. A small, weathered table stood beside it, its surface strewn with letters and trinkets that spoke of lives intertwined by fate. The scent of wax mingled with the earthy aroma of moss and damp leaves, creating a perfume that was both soothing and invigorating. She paused, allowing herself to be enveloped by the gentle embrace of the scene, a moment where time paused and the world seemed to hold its breath. The candle's flame danced with an ethereal grace, its light casting a soft glow on her face, illuminating her features with a tender clarity. It was a reminder of the fragility of life, yet also of its enduring strength. The flame burned brightly, defying the encroaching darkness, just as the human spirit persists, even in the face of adversity. She stood there, cradled by the night and the gentle illumination of the candle, her heart a steady rhythm in sync with the pulse of the earth. The world around her was a symphony of soft sounds and gentle movements, a lullaby that soothed her soul and whispered of peace. In this cocoon of tranquility, she understood that the night was not an ending but a beginning, a canvas upon which dreams could be painted anew, guided by the light of hope that never fades. The chill in the air was a gentle reminder of the season's embrace, a cold breath that caressed her skin and brought with it the distant echoes of history's whispers. These whispers told stories of courage and sacrifice, of hearts that beat with the same fervor as her own. They were voices carried by the wind, weaving through the trees and settling in her mind like a familiar song. As she listened, the whispers grew louder, a chorus of memories that spoke of soldiers marching beneath star-strewn skies, their boots a soft thud on the frozen earth. The rustle of leaves became the rustle of uniforms, the creak of branches the distant sound of footsteps on a journey unknown. Yet, even amidst these echoes of the past, there was an overwhelming sense of calm, a peace that settled over the landscape like a gentle snowfall, quiet and profound. The candle's flame flickered once more, casting its warm glow upon the letters strewn across the table. She reached out, her fingers tracing the faded words, each one a testament to love and longing, to connections forged in the crucible of war. The paper was delicate, its edges worn, yet the ink remained bold, a testament to the enduring power of the written word. She gathered these letters, holding them close as if to capture the essence of those who had come before. In their presence, she found solace, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light could be found in the simplest of things. A candle's glow, a whispered memory, a moment of stillness under a canopy of stars. As the night deepened, she settled into this embrace of warmth and memory, her heart a vessel of hope, and her spirit a flame that flickered with quiet strength. The world outside faded into a gentle hum, a lullaby that promised rest and renewal. In this place, she knew she was not alone, but part of a tapestry woven with threads of light and shadow, a story that continued to unfold beneath the watchful eyes of the moon. As the candlelight danced across the room, shadows played along the walls, weaving between the echoes of history and the promise of dreams yet to be realized. The gentle flicker cast a golden hue, warm and inviting, wrapping the room in an embrace that whispered of safety and the comforts of home. Outside, the world was a symphony of subtle sounds, a distant owl calling from the woods, the soft rustle of leaves rustling in the cold night breeze, and the far-off murmur of a brook, its waters chanting a timeless lullaby. The chill in the air was a reminder of the season, crisp and invigorating, yet softened by the warmth within. She nestled further into her chair, the crackling fire offering its gentle heat, intertwining with the rich aroma of the forest that seeped in through the slightly open window. It was a night of contrasts, where the cold air met the warmth of the hearth, where the silence of the room met the whispers of the past. She could feel the presence of those who had once walked the same paths, their footsteps now part of the earth's memory, their voices carried by the wind's gentle breath. Each letter in her hand was like a bridge to another time, another place, where soldiers marched beneath the same stars that now blinked softly above. She closed her eyes, allowing the words to wrap around her like a familiar melody, their rhythm steady and soothing. In the quiet of this moment, she imagined the faces of those who had penned these letters, their expressions softened by the candle's glow, their hopes and dreams etched into each stroke of ink. She could almost hear their whispered conversations, the gentle laughter shared amidst the chaos, the tender words exchanged in the stillness of night. It was a tapestry of emotion and connection, woven with threads of courage and love. The night stretched on, a vast expanse of time where past and present intertwined seamlessly. She felt herself drifting, lulled by the rhythmic beating of her heart, each pulse a reminder of the life that continued to flow through her veins. The moon cast its gentle gaze upon the world, a silent guardian watching over those who sought solace in its light. As sleep slowly enveloped her, she surrendered to the night's embrace, her dreams filled with visions of peaceful fields and starry skies. She knew that, come morning, the world would awaken to the soft glow of dawn, a new chapter waiting to be written. And in this quiet, sacred space, she found comfort in the knowledge that, despite the distance and the years, she was forever connected to those who had come before, their stories a part of her own. The room was filled with a gentle hush, a silence that was not emptiness, but rather a space brimming with the echoes of distant memories. The candlelight flickered softly, casting a warm golden hue over the pages she held. It danced upon the walls, creating shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of old, tales of valor and love that transcended the passage of time. Outside, the air was crisp and cold, a reminder of the world beyond her window, where the chill of history still lingered. Yet, within these walls, the cold was kept at bay by the warmth of the stories she cradled in her hands. She could almost feel the presence of those who had once lived these tales, their spirits lingering in the air like a gentle breath. The letters spoke of battles fought under the same moon that now bathed her in its silvery light. They told of nights spent in trenches, where the only comfort was the thought of home, of loved ones waiting patiently under the same sky. The words were infused with a quiet strength, a resilience that echoed softly in the stillness of the night. As she read, the distant echoes of the past seemed to draw closer, their presence as tangible as the paper beneath her fingertips. She imagined the rustle of uniforms, the soft murmur of voices carried on the wind, the way the stars must have looked to those who gazed upon them in moments of reflection and hope. The candle's flame flickered once more, its glow a beacon in the darkness, much like the hopes that had sustained those who had come before. She felt a sense of peace, knowing that these stories of courage and sacrifice had not been lost to the passage of time. They lived on in her heart, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. In this quiet sanctuary, She allowed herself to be enveloped by the gentle whispers of history, their cadence a soothing lullaby that carried her toward dreams. She could see fields of poppies swaying in the breeze, hear the distant call of nightingales, feel the soft caress of a world in slumber. And as sleep finally claimed her, she drifted into a world where time was but a gentle stream, carrying her on its currents through landscapes of memory and dreams. The night held her close, its embrace a promise of continuity and connection, as the stories of the past wove seamlessly into the fabric of her own life, whispering softly of love, hope, and the enduring bond of shared humanity. The night wrapped around her like a velvet cloak, the silence a tapestry woven with the threads of yesteryears. Outside, the moon hung low, casting a silver light that danced upon the frosted window pane, and inside, the candle continued its tender vigil, painting the room with a warm, flickering glow. Each breath she took was infused with the crisp, cold air of winter's embrace, yet her heart remained warm, cradled by the stories she held dear. As the room settled into its nocturnal rhythm, the echoes of history began to tell their tales. They spoke in hushed tones, their voices like the gentle rustling of leaves in an ancient forest. These echoes whispered of bravery and quiet determination, of lives lived with purpose and the unyielding resolve to find light even in the darkest of times. There were the voices of countless souls who had walked before her, their footsteps a soft percussion in the symphony of the night. The air was thick with memories, and she could almost see the spectral silhouettes of soldiers, their figures etched against the backdrop of time. They moved with a silent grace, their presence a reminder of the sacrifices they had made, each step a testament to their courage, and though they were but shadows now, their legacy lingered, a gentle reminder of the humanity that binds us all. The candle's light flickered, casting playful shadows that danced along the walls, creating a private theatre of reflection and reverie. Its flame was a constant, unwavering, like the spirit of those who had endured so much and asked for so little in return. She felt a kinship with them, her heart beating in time with the rhythms of their stories, her soul stirred by the strength of their spirit. Outside, the world was hushed, the night a serene canvas upon which dreams were painted. The distant echoes of war had faded, replaced by the soft lull of a world at rest. The wind carried with it the faint scent of pine and earth, a reminder of the life that continued to flourish even amidst the scars of history. The whispers of the past mingled with the gentle sigh of the wind, creating a harmony that lulled her into a deeper state of tranquility. In this cocoon of calm, she surrendered to the embrace of dreams, allowing the stories to carry her across the landscape of her imagination. She wandered through fields of golden wheat, under skies that stretched infinitely above, the distant call of a lark echoing through the vast expanse. The world of dreams was boundless, a place where past and present intertwined, where history and hope danced hand in hand. As the night wore on, she remained cradled in its gentle embrace, the whispers of history a soothing balm to her soul. She knew that when the morning light kissed the horizon, she would awaken with a renewed sense of purpose, inspired by the stories of those who had come before. But for now she rested, her spirit adrift in a sea of dreams, buoyed by the timeless tales that whispered softly of love, resilience, and the enduring beauty of the human spirit. The candlelight flickered gently, casting soft shadows that danced across the walls like echoes of bygone days. Each flicker seemed to tell a story of its own, a quiet narrative woven into the fabric of the night. The room was filled with a warm, golden glow that wrapped around her like a comforting embrace, warding off the chill of the world outside. The air was crisp, carrying with it the delicate kiss of winter's breath. It seeped in through the cracks in the window frame, a reminder of the world beyond this sanctuary of dreams. She pulled the quilt tighter around her, cocooned in its warmth, feeling the soft fabric against her skin like a gentle whisper. The cold was no match for the warmth that filled her heart, a warmth kindled by the stories that lingered in the air. Outside, the night was painted in shades of deep indigo, the sky a vast canvas dotted with stars that twinkled like distant memories. The moon hung low, its silvery light casting a serene glow over the landscape. It was a world hushed and still, the only sound the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze, and the distant, almost imperceptible echoes of a world healing from the wounds of war. The whispers of history seemed to float on the air, a chorus of voices from the past that sang softly to her soul. They spoke of courage and sacrifice, of love found and lost, of dreams that had been forged in the crucible of conflict. These whispers were a balm, soothing the scars of time, and filling her heart with a sense of connection to the tapestry of human experience. As she drifted deeper into the realm of dreams, the stories unfolded like pages in a cherished book. She walked through cobblestone streets lit by lanterns, their glow casting an amber light that mingled with the night air. She saw faces, both familiar and unknown, their eyes reflecting the resilience and hope that had carried them through the darkest of times. In this dreamscape she felt the gentle caress of a breeze, heard the distant murmur of a river as it wound its way through the countryside. She tasted the sweetness of ripe berries, felt the cool grass beneath her feet. Each sensation was vivid, a reminder of the beauty that persisted in the world, even amidst adversity. The night stretched on, timeless and eternal, cradling her in its embrace. Each breath was a lullaby, each heartbeat a measure in the symphony of dreams. She floated on this gentle current, anchored by the stories that whispered softly in the night. As the first light of dawn began to touch the edges of the sky, she knew that she would awaken renewed, her spirit buoyed by the gentle strength of the tales that had carried her through the night. The echoes of history continued to weave their gentle spell, a tapestry of sound that wrapped around her like a warm, comforting blanket. In this serene reverie, the world outside her window ceased to exist, replaced by the soft glow of candlelight flickering gently against the walls. The flame danced and flickered, casting playful shadows that seemed to tell their own stories, whispering secrets passed down through generations. As she wandered through this dreamscape, the cool air kissed her cheeks, a tender reminder of the world beyond the stories. The air was crisp and fresh, carrying with it the faint scent of pine and earth, grounding her in a reality that felt distant yet tangible. She embraced this cold caress, feeling alive and aware, as if the very essence of nature were cradling her in its arms. In the distance, the soft echoes of a bygone era murmured like ghosts, their voices a gentle chorus of remembrance. They spoke of bravery and valor, of quiet acts of defiance and moments of unexpected kindness. The whispers were like the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, barely perceptible, yet deeply resonant, and they filled her heart with a sense of peace. She imagined the soldiers, those weary travelers of the past, trudging through fields of frost-tipped grass as dawn broke over the horizon. Their breath visible in the chilled morning air, they marched forward, driven by hope and duty. She could almost hear the rhythmic crunch of their boots on the frozen ground, a steady beat that echoed the pulse of history. The candlelight flickered once more, drawing her attention back to the present. It illuminated a delicate layer of frost that had formed on the window pane, intricate patterns etched by the night's cold hand. She traced them with her fingertips, feeling the cool glass beneath her touch, marveling at the beauty of nature's artistry. As the night slowly yielded to the soft blush of dawn, she felt the stories begin to fade, their whispers growing softer, like a lullaby reaching its final refrain. Yet, they left behind a warmth, a gentle glow that lingered in her heart. The first light of day crept in, a gentle promise of new beginnings, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. She stirred, her eyes fluttering open to greet the world anew. The stories of courage and love, of sacrifice and resilience, had seeped into her very being. They were a part of her now, a comforting presence that would guide her through the waking world, whispering softly in her ear, reminding her of the enduring beauty and strength that lay in the quiet corners of history. The room, still wrapped in the tender embrace of the night, held the remnants of dreams woven with threads of history. Outside, the world was suspended in a hushed pause, as if nature itself held its breath, reluctant to break the spell of the stories that had unfolded in the quiet hours. She lay in her warm cocoon, cradled by blankets that held the scent of lavender, a soothing balm that lingered like a gentle whisper. The air was crisp, carrying with it the faintest scent of pine and earth, a reminder of the world beyond the walls, a world that had once borne witness to the footsteps of those brave souls. The candle's glow continued its dance, casting soft, moving shadows that ebbed and flowed with a gentle rhythm. Each flicker seemed to echo the distant memories of campfires that had once warmed weary spirits, their embers carrying tales of camaraderie and hope into the star-laden sky. She imagined the soldiers gathered around those fires, their faces illuminated by the soft, golden glow. Quiet conversations floated through the air, woven with the tones of countless accents, each voice a thread in the rich tapestry of humanity. The crackle of the fire was a soothing lullaby, blending with the rustling leaves and the distant call of an owl, creating a symphony of night. In the stillness, she closed her eyes once more, letting the echoes of the past wash over her like a gentle tide. She envisioned the night sky above those soldiers, a vast, dark canvas sprinkled with stars that twinkled like tiny beacons of hope. The same stars now peeked through her window, their light traveling across time to bridge the gap between then and now. The stories had woven themselves into her dreams, their presence an ethereal comfort that lingered like a soft melody. She felt the coolness of the morning air brush against her cheeks, a tender reminder of the world awaiting her return. It was a new day, yet the echoes of history remained, a quiet testament to the resilience and bravery of those who had walked before. As she rose, the first rays of sunlight seeped into the room, painting the walls with a gentle, golden hue. The world stirred to life beyond her window, the sounds of morning a gentle crescendo that greeted the day with open arms. She carried the stories with her, a cherished gift from the past, their whispered wisdom guiding her into the embrace of the dawn. In the quiet moments that followed, she felt a deep connection to the whispered legends of old, a connection that would accompany her through the days and nights to come, a reminder of the beauty in remembering and the strength found in the gentle echoes of history. In the gentle cradle of dawn, she lingered in the soft embrace of her covers, feeling the delicate warmth of the candlelight flickering beside her. The small flame danced with a graceful rhythm, casting shadows that waltzed across the room, a quiet ballet of light and dark. It was in this serene setting that the stories of the past continued to whisper to her, their voices a soothing murmur that harmonized with the distant echoes of a world once at war. She imagined the soldiers huddled around their own fires, their faces illuminated by the same kind of flickering glow, sharing tales and laughter that rose into the night air like smoke, curling and mingling with the stars. The crackling of their campfire and the occasional rustle of movement became a lullaby of camaraderie, a gentle reminder that even in the depths of conflict, there existed moments of peace and connection. Outside, the world was awakening slowly. The crispness of the morning air seeped in through the slightly ajar window, carrying with it the faint scent of dew-laden earth and the distant whispers of a breeze weaving through the trees. Each breath she took was filled with the essence of a new day, the subtle chill a reminder of the cycle of time that continued its eternal dance. As she prepared to rise, the soft creak of the floorboards beneath her feet was a familiar symphony, each step a note in the melody of morning. The candlelight followed her, flickering gently, its flame a steadfast companion as she moved through the quiet house. She paused by the window, drawn to the scene outside where the world was painted in shades of gold and green, the light playing upon the leaves like a masterful artist's brush. The garden lay still, wrapped in a tranquil silence that was only occasionally interrupted by the distant call of a bird or the soft rustle of leaves. She imagined the soldiers once more, their thoughts perhaps straying to gardens of their own, to places of solace and sanctuary that existed far from the front lines. In the whisper of the wind, she heard their dreams of peace, their hopes like seeds scattered in the fertile soil of the future. As she stood there, enveloped in the gentle embrace of morning, she felt a profound gratitude for the stories that had been passed down through time. They were more than mere tales. They were a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there existed a light that could never be extinguished. With a heart full of quiet resolve, she carried these echoes with her into the day, knowing that they would guide her steps and warm her soul, much like the candle's flame that continued to burn brightly in the soft waking light. As she lingered by the window, the cool morning air seeped through the small gaps in the frame, wrapping around her like a gentle, refreshing veil. It whispered softly against her skin, a tender reminder of the world beyond the walls of her quiet sanctuary. The chill carried with it the faintest scent of dew-laden earth, a perfume of nature that mingled with the warm, waxy aroma of the candles still flickering by her side. The house around her was a haven of hushed murmurs, where shadows danced with the candlelight, casting fleeting silhouettes across the walls. Each flicker seemed to breathe life into the room, the shifting darkness and light weaving a tapestry of serenity. The echoes of distant memories lingered in the corners, their presence as soft as a sigh, speaking of days gone by and the gentle passage of time. Beyond the window, the garden was a tableau of peace, where the first light of dawn kissed the petals of the flowers, coaxing them to awaken with a soft golden blush. The leaves shimmered with droplets of dew, each one a tiny prism that caught the light and scattered it in a delicate dance. The air was filled with the quiet hum of life, a symphony of subtle sounds that spoke of renewal and continuity. As she watched, a gentle breeze stirred the branches, setting them into a graceful, swaying motion. The rustle of leaves was like a whispered conversation, a secret exchange between the earth and the sky. It was a language she understood, one of patience and resilience, of hope that lingered even in the face of uncertainty. Her thoughts drifted once more to the soldiers, those distant figures caught in the throes of conflict. She imagined their faces, etched with stories untold, their eyes seeking the same dawn that now bathed her world in light. In the quiet of the morning, she sent a silent prayer into the wind, a wish for their safe return, for the warmth of home to once again embrace them. Time seemed to stretch in those moments, each second a gentle ripple in the flow of the day. She was content to stand there, to simply be, to breathe in the calm, and let it fill her being. The candle beside her flickered anew, its flame a steadfast symbol of endurance and hope, a beacon in the calm sea of early light. And so, with the echoes of the past gently cradled in her heart, she turned to face the day, her spirit buoyed by the quiet strength she found in the world around her. Each step she took was a promise, a commitment to carry the light forward, to let it shine brightly against the backdrop of the world, a flame that would never be extinguished. The world around her seemed to hold its breath, suspended in a rare moment of peace. The early morning light crept softly over the landscape, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers across the dew-kissed grass. The chill in the air was a gentle reminder of the season, crisp yet invigorating, as it whispered against her skin, awakening her senses to the quiet beauty that lay before her. In the distance, the faintest echoes of a world at war lingered, like the distant roll of thunder on a summer night, too far away to disturb the serenity of the moment, but close enough to remind her of the fragile balance between peace and chaos. These echoes were a part of the fabric of her days now, woven into the very essence of her existence, a soft, persistent reminder of the trials that so many faced beyond the horizon. The candle by her side continued its steadfast vigil, casting a warm, golden glow that danced upon the rough-hewn walls of her room. Its light flickered gently, creating a symphony of shadows that seemed to sway in time with the rustling leaves outside. She felt the warmth of the flame touch her soul, a comforting presence that enveloped her in its embrace, offering solace in the quiet hours of dawn. As she moved through the room, her footsteps were soft, barely a whisper against the cool wooden floor. She paused by the window, allowing the quiet murmur of the world to wash over her, its gentle cadence a soothing lullaby. The sound of birdsong drifted through the air, a delicate chorus that spoke of beginnings, of life unfurling in the gentle embrace of the morning light. Her thoughts wandered once more to those who had left the safety of home, to walk a path fraught with danger and uncertainty. She imagined them moving through the darkness, guided only by the light of their hopes and dreams, their hearts beating in time with the silent prayers sent by those who waited, those who believed in their return. And as the day began to unfurl its wings, she took a deep breath, drawing the cool, fresh air into her lungs. She held it there for a moment, savoring the crispness, the purity, before releasing it in a slow, measured exhale. It was a ritual she cherished, a moment of mindfulness that connected her to the world and to those she held dear. With a final glance at the candle's unwavering flame, she stepped into the day, carrying with her the quiet strength she had found in the solitude of the morning. The soft echoes of life surrounded her, the gentle symphony that accompanied her as she walked, weaving a tapestry of calm and resilience in a world that yearned for peace. The morning air was crisp, its chill a gentle reminder of the world outside, yet it carried an undertone of warmth from the promise of the rising sun. The whispers of the wind danced through the open window, tender fingers brushing against her skin, carrying with them stories from distant lands, tales of courage whispered among the rustling leaves. Each breath she took was a shared moment with the earth, an unspoken conversation held in the tranquil language of nature. In the distance, the soft echoes of a distant train horn melded with the tender rustle of leaves, creating a harmony that seemed to stretch across time and space. It was a sound both haunting and comforting, a reminder of journeys taken and those yet to come. The quiet hum of life began to stir, a gentle awakening that spoke of continuity, of life's unyielding march forward, even amidst times of turmoil. As she moved through her morning routine, the golden glow of candlelight flickered against the walls, casting gentle shadows that danced in rhythm with her thoughts. The light was a steadfast companion, a beacon in the early hours that whispered secrets of endurance and hope, illuminating the path through the waking world. The flame's subtle warmth seemed to seep into her bones, fortifying her against the chill, a reminder that even the smallest light could hold back the darkness. Her mind drifted to the letters she had written, each word a thread of connection to those far away. She imagined them being read under the same candlelight, her words a bridge over the miles, a promise of unwavering support and love. The inked lines were whispers of her heart, carried across the seas, through the cold air, to warm the spirits of those she cherished. The melody of life outside her window grew stronger, a soft crescendo as the world awoke. The symphony of morning birdsong, rustling leaves, distant echoes played on, a testament to resilience and renewal. In the midst of it all, she found a quiet joy, a peace woven from the simple beauty of the world around her. With each step she took, she carried the weight of her memories, the whispered hopes of a future where peace reigned. Her heart beat in time with the rhythm of the earth, a steady pulse that promised continuity, no matter the chaos that lay beyond the horizon. And so, wrapped in the gentle embrace of morning, she stepped forward, a quiet force of nature, her spirit a candle flame against the vastness of the world. The room was a sanctuary, cradled in the gentle embrace of candlelight. The flickering glow painted golden arcs across the walls, where shadows danced in a slow waltz, mimicking the rhythm of her heart. Each shadow was a silent partner, a keeper of secrets, moving in harmony with her thoughts and dreams. Their dance was a reminder of life's ebb and flow, of light and darkness intertwined, a promise that the dawn always follows the night. As the flame swayed, its warmth reached out, wrapping around her like a familiar cloak. Outside, the cold air pressed against the windows, a stark contrast to the comforting glow within. It whispered softly of distant lands and uncharted paths, of wind-swept fields and frost-covered forests, where whispers of history lingered, where echoes of footsteps long past still reverberated in the quiet. In her hands lay the letters, each one a testament to her enduring spirit. She imagined them carried by the winds, crossing oceans and mountains, finding their way to those she longed to hold near. The paper was a vessel for her thoughts, her inked whispers a balm for weary souls. She pictured the recipients, bathed in similar candlelight, reading her words with a gentle smile, their hearts warmed by the connection that spanned the miles. The world beyond her window began to stir, a gentle awakening as the night gave way to dawn. Birds sang their morning chorus, each note a celebration of life renewed. Leaves rustled in the gentle breeze, each whisper a secret shared among the trees. The distant echoes of a world coming to life reached her ears, a soft reminder that beauty persisted, even in the face of uncertainty. In this tranquil moment, she found solace, a quiet strength that anchored her amidst the unknown. Her thoughts meandered like a river, flowing through memories of the past and dreams of the future. She could feel the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, its steady rhythm a heartbeat that promised continuity, a song that sang of hope and possibility. With a deep breath, she embraced the morning, the chill of the air a gentle nudge to move forward. Her steps were deliberate, each one taken with purpose, each one a testament to her resolve. Wrapped in the serenity of the dawn, she carried with her the warmth of the candlelight, a beacon in the vastness, a small but mighty flame against the darkness. She was a quiet force, her spirit a harmonious note in the symphony of the world, a light that shone unwaveringly, illuminating the path ahead. As the first light of dawn painted the horizon with hues of soft amber and rose, she watched the world awaken from its slumber, the gentle transformation a symphony of color and sound. The sky above, a canvas of endless possibilities, stretched out with the promise of a new day, its vastness both humbling and inspiring. The whispers of the early morning breeze caressed her cheeks, carrying with it the fragrance of dew-kissed earth and blooming wildflowers, a delicate perfume that lingered in the crisp air. In the distance, the faint echoes of life slowly stirred, each sound a distant memory returning, the soft clatter of milk bottles, the distant murmur of voices, the rhythmic clop of horses' hooves, all wove together in a tapestry of gentle reminders that life persevered, resilient and unwavering. These echoes were like the soothing hum of a lullaby, a melody that spoke of endurance and gentle strength. With each breath she inhaled the coolness of the morning, its freshness invigorating, a gentle reminder of renewal. She imagined her words, written in the quiet solitude of the night, traveling across oceans and continents, finding their way to the hearts of those she longed to hold near. Her letters, penned with love and hope, were carried by the wind, whispered secrets in the language of the soul, binding her to those she cherished. The candle beside her flickered softly, its warm glow a comforting presence, casting dancing shadows that played upon the walls. It was a small flame, yet it burned with a fierce tenacity, a symbol of her own inner light. She watched its gentle sway, entranced by its simplicity and strength, a reminder that even the smallest light could dispel the darkest of nights. Her mind drifted to the stories of those who walked similar paths, their journeys intertwined with her own. In the quiet moments of reflection, she found a kinship, a shared understanding that transcended distance and time. She imagined them too, wrapped in the embrace of the morning, their spirits buoyed by the same hopeful dawn, their hearts warmed by the shared light of love and remembrance. As the sun began its ascent, casting golden rays that kissed the earth with warmth, she felt a quiet resolve take root within her. Each step she took was a step towards hope, each breath a testament to her resilience. She moved forward with grace, her spirit a gentle force, unwavering and steadfast, a light that would guide her and those she loved through whatever lay ahead. In the serene embrace of the morning, she found her strength, a song of hope that would carry her through the day, a lullaby of peace that whispered promises of brighter tomorrows. The early morning air caressed her skin, a tender reminder of the world outside, vast and full of whispered possibilities. It carried with it the faint echoes of distant memories, as if the very land itself sighed with the stories of those who had walked before. The chill was invigorating, a gentle nudge to awaken, to feel, to be present in this moment suspended between night and day. As she sat in this tranquil space, the room around her seemed to breathe in harmony with her own gentle rhythm. The soft rustle of her dress, a subtle melody, echoed the quiet persistence of life. She closed her eyes, allowing the peaceful symphony to wrap around her, cradling her in its delicate embrace. The candle's flame, now a steadfast companion, continued its graceful dance, its light a beacon in the stillness. It flickered gently, casting a warm glow that mingled with the burgeoning light of dawn. The shadows it painted on the walls told tales of resilience and hope, stories written in the language of light and darkness, of silence and whispers. In the silence, she could almost hear the whispers of the letters she had penned, each word a bridge spanning the distance between her world and theirs. They were carried on the wind, those whispers, settling like snowflakes on the hearts of those she held dear. She imagined them reading her words, feeling the warmth of her love wrap around them, a shelter from the storms that raged beyond. The distant echoes of war seemed to fade in this moment, replaced by the gentle murmur of morning's promise. The world outside, though cloaked in uncertainty, felt softer somehow, as if wrapped in a blanket of compassion and understanding. It was a world where hope was sown with every whispered prayer, where dreams took root in the fertile soil of possibility. As the first birds began their morning chorus, their song a hymn to the dawn, she felt a quiet peace settle over her. The world was vast and complex, yet in this moment it felt beautifully simple. Each note of their melody was a reminder of the connections that bound her to the world, to those she loved, a testament to the enduring power of faith and hope. With a gentle sigh she rose, drawing the warmth of the light around her like a cloak. The day awaited, a canvas upon which she would paint her dreams, guided by the luminous threads of love and the gentle whispers of hope. In the stillness of the morning she found her strength, a quiet resolve that would carry her through, one step at a time, towards the promise of brighter tomorrows. As she moved through the quiet of her small room, the candlelight flickered, casting soft shadows that danced upon the walls. These shadows were old companions, familiar and comforting, weaving stories of their own. In the dim glow, they whispered tales of resilience and courage, of moments shared across time and space, reaching out like gentle fingers to soothe the aching emptiness that sometimes settled in her heart. The cold air from the window touched her skin, a reminder of the world outside, vast and filled with unknowns. Yet, it was also invigorating, like a breath of fresh life, carrying with it the scent of earth and pine, of lands untrodden and skies unbounded. She paused to inhale deeply, letting the crispness awaken her senses, grounding her in the present moment, where her dreams took flight. Beyond the thin panes of glass, the world was stirring. She could just make out the faint outlines of rooftops, dusted with the soft glow of early light, their edges softened by the gentle caress of dawn. In the distance, the echoes of the past night's storms lingered, a hushed reminder of a world at war. But here, in this sacred space between night and day, there was a lull, a tender pause that whispered of hope and healing. She took a moment to herself, to gather her thoughts like precious keepsakes, each one a memory of laughter and love, of shared stories and silent companionships. Her heart was a vessel, holding on to these treasures that warmed her soul, even in the coldest of nights. They were her talismans, guiding her through the labyrinth of uncertainty that lay ahead. With each step she took, the floorboards creaked gently beneath her feet, a soft symphony of domesticity that echoed through the silence. She was careful not to break the fragile peace that enveloped her, moving with the grace of one who knows the value of stillness. Her movements were deliberate, each gesture a silent prayer, a vow to remain steadfast in her love and hope. As she prepared to face the day, she carried with her the whispers of the night, the promises woven into the fabric of her dreams. Each whisper was a note in the lullaby of life, a gentle reassurance that she was never truly alone. The world was vast and filled with shadows, but it was also alive with light and possibility, and she was part of its endless dance. In the quiet promise of morning, she found her center. The candle flickered one last time before she blew it out, sending wisps of smoke spiraling upwards, like dreams rising to meet the dawn. The whispers of hope lingered in the air, a gentle reminder of the strength found in love and the unbreakable bonds that connected her to those she cherished. No matter the distance, the candle's extinguished flame left a trace of warmth, a fleeting reminder of its presence, as the room slipped into the soft embrace of early morning twilight. Outside, the world lay wrapped in a blanket of quietude, the hush of dawn gently rousing the earth from slumber. The air was crisp, carrying with it the distant echoes of a world awakening, the faint rustle of leaves, the soft murmur of a brook winding its way through the forest. She stood by the window, her breath fogging the glass in delicate patterns, ephemeral as the moments that passed before her eyes. The cold air kissed her skin, invigorating her senses, sharpening the world into focus. Yet, there was a calm that settled in her bones, a serenity that came with knowing that she was part of something greater than herself, a tapestry of lives woven together by time and circumstance. In the distance, the muted whispers of the village began to stir, a gentle crescendo of life resuming its rhythm. The faint clatter of a cart on cobblestones, the soft clink of milk bottles left on doorsteps. These were the harmonies of a world that persisted, resilient and hopeful. She listened, letting the sounds wash over her, a soothing symphony that spoke of continuity, of the ever-present cycle of beginnings and endings. Her gaze drifted to the horizon, where the first light of dawn began its slow ascent, painting the sky in hues of gold and rose. The morning star lingered, a solitary beacon against the expanse, whispering secrets of the night to the awakening day. She took a deep breath, drawing in the freshness of the new morning, feeling the promise it held within its embrace. Memory, like a gentle tide, brought forth images of faces and places, of laughter shared around a fire, of the silent understanding that passed between kindred spirits. Each memory was a touchstone, a reminder of the love that bound her to those she held dear. Though miles and circumstance separated them, their presence was a constant, a quiet strength she carried with her. As the sun crowned the hills, casting its radiant glow over the world, she felt a sense of peace envelop her. The whispers of the night faded into the symphony of day, yet their essence lingered, a soft undercurrent of hope that buoyed her spirits. With a heart full of gratitude, she turned from the window ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that love and hope would be her guiding stars through the labyrinth of life. The room was wrapped in the gentle embrace of candlelight, the flickering flames casting waltzing shadows on the walls. The soft golden glow touched the edges of her world, a cocoon of warmth against the chill of the early morning air that seeped through the cracks in the window. She pulled the knitted shawl closer around her shoulders, feeling its comforting weight, a cherished gift from her grandmother, its intricate patterns woven with stories of old. Outside, the distant echoes of a city stirring to life reached her ears, muffled and serene. The low hum of voices, the far-off whistle of a train, and the occasional bark of a dog created a tapestry of sound that was both familiar and foreign, each note a thread in the fabric of her existence. These sounds, drifting on the breeze like a lullaby, eased her mind, reminding her of the constancy of life amidst the chaos that swirled beyond her sanctuary. The candle's flame danced in rhythm with her thoughts, flickering gently, a mirror to the quiet flickers of hope within her heart. She closed her eyes, feeling the cool air brush against her skin, a tender caress that carried with it the scent of dew-kissed earth and blooming lilacs. It was a scent that spoke of renewal, of the earth's promise to heal and flourish, even in the wake of destruction. In the silence, she heard the whispers of those who had walked before her, their voices like leaves rustling in a gentle breeze, guiding her with wisdom and courage. Her ancestors, steadfast and enduring, their lives woven into the tapestry of her own, their stories a foundation upon which she stood. She imagined their faces, their smiles, their words of encouragement, a lineage of strength that flowed through her veins. The light of dawn grew brighter, the room slowly filling with the soft illumination of day. She watched as the candle's flame dimmed in the presence of the sun, its duty fulfilled for another night. The shadows retreated to their corners, replaced by the clarity of morning, each object in the room now defined by the sun's gentle touch. With a sigh of contentment, she rose from her chair, her bare feet touching the cold wooden floor, grounding her in the present. She moved with purpose, her steps echoing softly in the quiet of the room. The day awaited her, full of unknowns and possibilities, a blank canvas upon which she would paint her hopes and dreams. As she prepared to step into the world beyond her door, she carried with her the echoes of the night, the whispered promises of dawn, and the enduring light of love. And in that light, she found her peace, her resolve, and her unwavering belief in the beauty of the journey ahead. As she descended the creaky wooden staircase, each step a soft murmur in the sleeping house, the air around her was tinged with the crispness of early morning. The chill gently wrapped around her, a reminder of the world that lay beyond the comforting walls of her home. She paused for a moment, her hand resting on the polished banister, feeling the coolness seep into her skin, a tactile connection to the countless hands that had been there before her. The distant echoes of a world awakening reached her ears, the gentle clatter of pots in the kitchen, the faint hum of a radio somewhere down the street, each sound a note in the symphony of morning. She savoured these moments, the quiet before the day unfurled with its myriad demands and challenges, the solitude that allowed her dreams to float freely, unencumbered by the weight of reality. In the kitchen, A single candle still flickered on the windowsill, its golden light dancing in the pale morning sun. She watched as the flame quivered, casting delicate shadows that swayed and swirled, like tiny spirits in a graceful ballet. The scent of lilacs mingled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, a comforting blend that wrapped around her like a warm embrace, soothing and invigorating all at once. She poured herself a cup, the steam rising in gentle spirals, and stepped outside, the door creaking softly in protest. The garden lay before her, blanketed in the soft hues of dawn, dew-kissed and glistening. Each blade of grass, each petal seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the sun's full embrace, the promise of warmth and light. The whispers of the night lingered in her mind, gentle reminders of the stories that shaped her, the paths forged by those who came before. She felt their presence in the rustle of leaves, in the distant call of a bird, in the cool breeze that caressed her cheek. They were with her always, a chorus of voices that sang of courage, of resilience, of love. As she stood there, enveloped in the serenity of the moment, the world around her slowly came to life. The sun rose higher, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink, casting a warm glow over the earth. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and let the peace of the morning settle within her, a quiet strength to carry her through the day. And so she began, her heart full, her spirit light, the echoes of the past whispering softly in her ear, guiding her forward into the gentle promise of a new day. The morning unfolded like a gentle symphony, each note a soft caress against the quiet stillness that surrounded her, the distant echoes of an old world, of stories whispered from one generation to the next, seemed to linger in the crispness of the air. She stood in the garden, feeling the cold morning dew seep through the thin fabric of her slippers, a reminder of the earth's eternal cycle, of beginnings wrapped gently in endings. Her eyes drifted to the horizon, where the sky stretched wide and endless, a canvas painted with the first strokes of dawn's light. There, the sun began its slow ascent, a golden orb rising with a deliberate grace, casting its warm glow upon the world below. Each ray seemed to reach out, touching the sleeping earth, awakening it with a tender kiss. The candle she'd left behind flickered in the window, its flame a solitary sentinel against the retreating night. It cast a halo of soft light that danced upon the walls, a reminder of the quiet vigil she'd kept through the dark hours. The gentle scent of lilacs still lingered, mingling with the cool air, a fragrance that spoke of home and memory, of gardens once tended by hands now gone, but never forgotten. In the distance, the faint murmur of the village began to stir, a symphony of life awakening to the new day. The sound of a milk cart's wheels on cobblestones, the rhythmic clatter echoing faintly through the crisp morning air, the distant laughter of children, full of promise, and the simple joy of another day to explore and dream. And beneath it all, the ever-present whisper of the wind through the trees, a gentle reminder of nature's eternal song. She wrapped her shawl tighter around her shoulders, savoring the soft wool's comfort against the chill. Closing her eyes, she let herself be carried on the current of memories, the voices that spoke of courage and sacrifice, their stories woven into the very fabric of the land. They were whispers on the breeze, stories etched in the stones of the path beneath her feet, guiding her with their quiet wisdom. The garden was alive now, each flower and leaf a testament to resilience, to the beauty that could thrive, even amidst the harshest of winters. She felt a kinship with them, a shared understanding of enduring, of reaching toward the light with hope and strength. And as the sun rose higher, casting its warm embrace across the world, she knew that the echoes of the past would always walk beside her, their gentle guidance a constant companion. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ready to embrace the day's journey, she turned back toward the house, the soft light of the morning guiding her steps, the whispers of history cradling her in their gentle lullaby. As she walked toward the house, the gentle creak of the garden gate accompanied her, like an old friend, its familiar sound resonating softly in the stillness. The air was crisp, carrying with it the faint scent of dew-kissed earth and the lingering aroma of lavender from the garden. Each breath she took was a reminder of life's simple pleasures, the small, quiet moments that too often went unnoticed in the rush of the world. The path leading up to the cottage was lined with stones, each one unique, each one a silent witness to the passage of time. Her footsteps made no sound as she moved, as if she were floating on the whispers of the past, those ever-present voices that spoke to her in hushed tones. They told tales of bravery and humanity, of lives lived with purpose, of the unwavering spirit of those who had walked these paths before her. Their stories were her solace, their courage her inspiration. Reaching the doorway, she paused for a moment, her hand resting on the cool, weathered wood. It was a threshold between worlds, the comforting embrace of the past and the promise of the future. The soft flicker of candlelight danced through the window, casting golden shadows that seemed to sway with the rhythm of her heartbeat. Inside, the warmth beckoned, a sanctuary from the world outside, a place where dreams took root and grew. As she stepped inside, the coolness of the air gave way to a gentle warmth, wrapping around her like an old quilt. The room was filled with the quiet hum of life, the crackling of the hearth a soothing melody against the whispers of the wind outside. It was a place of stories and secrets, of laughter and love, where every corner held a memory, every object a story. She settled into her favorite chair by the fire, the soft fabric welcoming her like an old friend. As the flames danced, their light flickering across the room, she let her thoughts wander, following the trail of memories that wound through her mind like a gentle stream. The echoes of the past were a lullaby, their gentle cadence lulling her into a state of peaceful reflection. Outside, the day continued its slow, deliberate march, the sun's rays painting the sky in hues of gold and amber, and as the world turned she found comfort in the knowledge that she was a part of this vast tapestry, her own story woven into the fabric of time. In this quiet moment, she was at peace, cradled by the whispers of history, serenaded by the gentle symphony of life's enduring song. The candle's glow continued to weave its tender light through the room, casting patterns that danced like silent phantoms across the worn wooden floor. The air was thick with the scent of aged paper and wax, a fragrance that carried with it the echoes of countless tales told and retold. Each whisper of the wind outside seemed to carry an old story, a distant echo of lives once lived, their voices mingling with the present in a timeless harmony. As she gazed into the flames, their gentle flicker casting a warm glow upon her face, memories unfurled like leaves in the soft light of dawn. There was a photograph on the mantel, edges frayed with age, capturing a moment frozen in time, a sepia-toned memory of a world long past. In that image, she saw faces familiar yet distant, their smiles a testament to love, enduring even in the shadow of war. The room seemed to breathe with her, its walls a cocoon of solace amid the world's chaos. Outside, the whispers of the wind carried the faintest echoes of far-off battles, a reminder of the fragility of peace. Yet within these walls, the past and present intertwined, creating a sanctuary where hope and remembrance coexisted in quiet harmony. She closed her eyes, letting the warmth of the fire seep into her bones. The chair beneath her was a cradle, rocking her gently with the rhythm of forgotten lullabies. Somewhere in the distance, the soft tolling of a bell marked the passage of time, a gentle reminder that even in the darkest nights, the dawn would come. Its sound was a beacon, guiding her thoughts through the labyrinth of history, where every turn held a story waiting to be discovered. In the silence, the whispers of long-lost voices began to weave a tapestry of sound, a symphony of gentle murmurs and laughter, of promises and farewells. They spoke of resilience and courage, of love, found and lost, of a world forever changed, yet enduring in its beauty. Each note was a thread in the rich fabric of her own life, a reminder of the strength found in connection, the solace found in shared stories. As the evening deepened, the cold air outside pressed gently against the windows, a reminder of the world beyond. Yet here in this cocoon of warmth and light, she was safe, cradled by the gentle embrace of history. And as the candle burned low, its light a soft glow against the encroaching night, she found herself lulled by the gentle cadence of time, a lullaby woven from the echoes of those who had come before, a promise of peace whispered through the ages. The room, bathed in the soft flicker of candlelight, seemed to breathe with her, exhaling shadows that danced lazily upon the walls. The air was tinged with the faint scent of aged paper and polished wood, a comforting aroma that spoke of stories waiting patiently on the shelves. Each book was a vessel, containing worlds that once were, and could be again, if only she dared to dream them awake. Beyond the sheltering glow of the candle, the night stretched vast and star-studded, a canopy of whispered secrets. The cold air, a gentle spectre, lingered at the edges of the room, as if hesitant to intrude upon this sanctuary. It pressed lightly against the window panes, its chill a distant echo of the world outside, a world of battles fought and won, of hearts broken and mended. The whispers continued, a gentle susurration that enveloped her like a beloved quilt. They spoke in hushed tones, their language a soothing balm to the soul. Each whisper was a ripple in the stillness, a reminder that she was not alone. The stories they carried were as much a part of her as the breath in her lungs, the beat of her heart. In this tranquil refuge, time seemed to stretch and bend, accommodating her need for solace. The past, with all its trials and triumphs, was an ever-present companion, its lessons etched into the very fabric of her being. Yet the future, with its promise of renewal, whispered softly of hope and possibility, of dawns yet to be embraced. The fire's glow began to fade, its warmth a gentle reminder of the cycle of life, of endings and beginnings, of the eternal dance between darkness and light. As the last embers died, the room was left in quiet repose, the candle's flame a steadfast guardian against the night. Wrapped in the gentle embrace of memories and dreams, she surrendered to the night, her thoughts drifting like leaves on a tranquil stream. The lullaby of history continued to weave its tender spell, cradling her in its melody, promising peace, and the soft embrace of a new day yet to come. As the war's echoes softened into the distance, the world began to breathe a gentle sigh of relief. The once tumultuous skies grew calm, replaced by the serene embrace of nightfall. In the quiet corners of the earth, where dreams took flight, a hush settled over the lands, wrapping all in a tender lullaby of peace. The stars, guardians of the night, twinkled softly, their light a gentle promise that the world was now safe. With each passing moment, stillness enveloped the hearts of those who longed for rest, guiding them into a deep and soothing slumber, where the whispers of tomorrow promised hope anew.